Hey everyone, I am here. Sorry it took me a couple of minutes, but welcome to Wednesday Work Wisdom. And I know I have not been around for a few weeks. Thanks for being so patient and for joining today after not being here for a few. I wanted to take today to chit chat about identifying your life's work. I know with the pandemic, everyone has been asking so many questions about what to do next with some industries going away, some industries downsizing, and things like that. And I think that this is so important because now is really the best time to take advantage to figure out what it is that you want to do and to do it and to get yourself there. So, just the pandemic has really forced many to rethink work, their careers, the way they work. And really, this is the best time to determine what your passion is and to go for it. And before the pandemic struck, a common statistic that you would hear is that 85% of people hate their jobs. And that is a giant number. And many also have difficulty separating work from home and not spending enough time at home. And now it's hard when many people are confined to home and constantly working from home. And I also realize it can be difficult to change careers, but ultimately, we are the ones who will have the power to make it happen or end up staying stuck and unhappy. So let's discuss what I call some rules, for lack of a better word, for finding your passion. So let's jump right in. Rule number one: the work must be the reward. And this is so important because one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make with their careers is treating it like a means to an end. Meaning, I go to work, I get a paycheck to pay my bills. Means to an end, right? Okay. But whether that is the money, paying the bills, right? Power, prestige, getting to the executive level, whatever it could be, running your own company, whatever it is, different for everyone. This can lead to unhappiness because when your career is just a means to an end, the payoff, even if you get it, whether it's money, power, prestige, you name it, like I said, it's different for everybody, will be unsatisfying. You don't want to make this mistake because this is when we end up in a rut. This is when we end up unhappy. And this is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. Your work won't give you joy and fulfillment every day. Of course, there's days where it's going to be awful, hard, and just grunt work, or for lack of a better word, right? But some days might feel more satisfying than others. But with the right goals and earning your success and serving others and thinking about how you can be a best service to others, what industry might that be in? What is it that you love to do? How can you serve others to your best, your higher self? How could you help them meet their goals? What is the thing that you can do? This is how you can make work for you and earn the reward in the salary that you are satisfied with at the same time. Rule number two: an interesting career is better than a fun career. I know that sounds strange, right? But research has shown that enjoyment seekers have had less passion for their work and change jobs more frequently than meaning seekers. But in reality, we need both. Okay, I know this all might sound a little strange, but at the nexus of enjoyable and meaningful is interesting. So this is where interesting becomes better than fun and enjoyable. An interest is considered by many neuroscientists to be a positive primary emotion. So when you're experiencing that positive primary emotion, you are going to feel more happiness than you will if you say something is fun. And like I said before, will something be fun every single day? There's going to be days where it might feel like more grunt work and more stressful than others. So something you might want to think about is something that truly interests you. Is it intensely pleasurable? But it also must have meaning in order to hold your interest. So you want to say to yourself, is this work deeply interesting to me? That is a helpful litmus test to know whether a job could be or to lead to your passion. And this next rule is one of the most important ones. A career does not have to be a straight line. This is another mistake that I see people make a lot. They think that it has to be this constant straight path. And I will tell you, the things that we see in the media, social media, do not help, because we see someone get to the top, but we don't see what they did in the middle. We don't see the struggles, we don't see the battles, we don't see the hard things, and we don't see, their career changes or things like that. But this is also really important because this is deeply rooted in perfection. So many people are totally fascinated by the entrepreneurial journey and the culture that worships it on media, social media, and all of these vast fortunes that have been accrued to tech startup founders in their 20s and their 30s. All of that comes with a certain mythology. Whether or not it's true, the entrepreneur is often depicted as having a single abiding passion for which he or she is willing to pay any personal price. But this enormously worldly rewards are portrayed as the ultimate passion. See, all of this is really false in something that's just displayed in the media. But this model doesn't describe how many or perhaps most fulfilled people have survived and thrived. Think about how many actually start a business or get to their journey, meaning their career. You don't even have to start a business, and actually love it. Is it something that's for you? Some businesses fail. Don't forget, we see some of these tech startups, or not even tech, just any startup. And, they'll be like, oh, I'm on my third or my fifth. Because, the first, second, third, or fourth, or whatever, failed. And it's not uncommon, but it doesn't mean that it can't be the same way for you, meaning that what you think you're going to do right out of college is failure, for lack of a better word, and that you're not going to, you're going to go in that straight path, straight through, all the way through your 30s, your 40s, to retirement. And it's going to be super quick and easy. We're making it harder on ourselves by that, because then we're going by the route of perfection. So this concept of the corporate ladder, you see how that's extremely linear? But this is also the idea of the same billionaire entrepreneur that sets us for failure. And that's not good. So this also isn't the only career model. There are 3 other ones. Steady state careers involve staying at one job and growing in expertise, which is not bad. Transitory careers are ones in which people jump from job to job and even from field to field, looking for new challenges. And then there's spiral careers, the last one. And these are more like a series of mini careers where people spend many years developing in a profession and then shift fields, seeking not just for a novelty, but work that builds on the skills of their previous mini careers. But I want you to remember, out of all of these, there's not a right or a wrong. Only what is right or wrong for you and for your journey. But also to be mindful not to put that pressure on yourself to follow that billionaire journey and to compare yourself to anyone else and say that you're doing it wrong and that you're failing when you may not even be failing. Rule number 4, be aware of unhealthy passions. And if you're thinking, it's my passion, how could it be unhealthy? I get where you're going with that. But it's very important for you to know whether you're doing something because it's easy, because it's expected of you from other people, or because it's comfortable and something you've done for many years. But remember, you can start anew with a new passion. But those who experience what is called harmonious passion for their activity identified a positive mood, good concentration, and a flow state while doing it. So there is what's called obsessive passions. And when it's obsessive is when it becomes almost like an addiction, for lack of a better word. And that's when it becomes unhealthy. And that's when your business or even your career will become almost a burden to you because you won't be able to separate your personal life and your work life. There will be no flow of self-care, and there will be no means of taking care of yourself and having a personal life, which is extremely unhealthy. So in this way, work is kind of like a romantic love if you think about it. Almost everyone, has had an unhealthy relationship or two. But what many unhealthy relationships have in common is that obsessive passion, a need to be together, but unhappily so. So you need to be in your work, you need to be working all the time, but you're unhappy, you hate doing it, if that makes sense. Obsessive passion brings out the worst in us, and that's also really important to remember. But by contrast, a healthy relationship generates harmonious passion, characterized by happiness and mutual improvement as people. So that when you find that right person, it brings out the best in you and it helps you grow. So when you find the right career, it brings out the best in you and it helps you grow. So you want to find something you are intensely interested in, of course, but go further and ask, is my interest obsessive or harmonious? Does the job or career bring out the best in me? Does it make me a happy, healthier, better person in pursuing it? Or am I neglecting other things, other important things in my life? Rule number 5. You and you alone are responsible for your career. This is another mistake that I see people make. A common mistake that is made is that people wait for someone to tap them on the shoulder, to either push them forward, recognize their strengths, to take a leap, take on a new assignment, to advance, whatever. But you are responsible for your path. And you are responsible to identify your passion, and you are responsible to push yourself forward. If no one is tapping you on the shoulder, you have to think twice if you're in the right place, if you're where you want to be, and if you're doing the right thing. So if you're ready to make that change, then reach out, book a call. I will leave the link for you in the comments. We'll talk for about 45 minutes, and we'll get you so much clarity around what's going on, what's going wrong, what's going right, what needs to happen, what needs to change, and how to get you to the next level. If I can help you, I'll let you know. If I can't, I'll tell you that too. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message, and I'm more than happy to answer those as well. But I hope everyone has a great Wednesday, and I hope this has been helpful. And if you have any questions, again, just reach out and let me know. I will be back next week, and I hope everyone stays healthy, stays well, and keep taking care of your friends and your family and looking out for each other. Have a great day.